Good morning. So it's me again. Apologies. I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. Lou is back. Okay, so stop being silly. So today I'm going to do, just going to record my makeover really as I get ready this morning on this, what has become rapidly a very gloomy day. I'm going to use the Supreme Playbook. I think it's amazing actually. It's really very premium. So it's got, as it opens up, it literally opens up like a book. It's got this wonderful mirror here. Sorry if I blinded you. And then you've got some sort of suggestions of how you could create some really pretty good looks. You don't have to go into that level of sort of competence. And you've got some really lovely sort of warm, earthy tones, some really natural sort of shades. And of course you've got highlighters and colour correctors across the top and bottom. So that's what I'm going to use today. And then I'm going to finish off with doing my foundation and my blusher and my lipstick. And I'm going to use the new lip lacquer, which I've ordered every shade. Yes, Louise, you should be spending money, but hey ho. I love lip gloss. I love lacquers, and I just think that is absolutely crack-a-lacking. So what I'll probably do today is I'll probably talk a little bit. I can do that, you know that, and then I'll probably make sure that we edit it so we speed through some elements so that you get to see the full look if you want to watch it. Okay, cool. Right. So I've started by putting a little bit of a base on already, just a primer which has got a bit of a sort of translucent finish to it. It's part of the AVON Mark range, and it just takes away, it fills some of my pores or areas where I might have perhaps a deeper line or whatever, and it just gives me a bit more of a smoother finish with which to apply my makeup. I've put a little bit of eyeshadow base on, which gives me something for the pigment to adhere to, and also it makes it last longer and stops your eyeshadow from creasing, which can happen quite quickly, especially during a working day. So our playbook. So let's kick off with our playbook. I am going to use Crave, so that's going to be my base. Literally a really nice cream, fleshy tone, and in quite a sort of puffy brush I'm just going to put that all over the lower lid, down to the lash line, and all over the upper lid as well. And I'm not going to be particularly tidy about that. I'm just really giving myself a bit of a powdery finish on the top of the base. And also I think you might have seen, if you watch any of my other videos, I've got quite not veiny, but I've got, you can see blood vessels in my eyelid, so because I'm so fair, so I'll try and cover that up. Anyway, so that gives me a bit of a base as well. I also like to keep a bit of a dusting brush to make sure that I sweep any excess away. That's particularly good if you've got dark colours you're working with. Although the reason I'm leaving my foundation till the end of my eyeshadow is so that I can, you know, repair any damage or remove any fallout that I've made. So I've started with that elusive colour, and then I'm going to go in now with this Intricate, which is a really lovely pink. And again, so I'm going to use the other end of this brush. This is actually a Spectrum brush, so I'm a bit of a brush addict. I've just ordered a load of AVON brushes. I do have some AVON tools here, and I will show you as I use them, but I'm just literally going to go into the eye socket with this lovely pink. So pigment's not very strong, so I'm going to have to build that up a little bit, but it would be okay for somebody that really doesn't like their colour to be too bold. Now this lighting is not very good here, in spite of me investing in this wonderful light ring. So let's just sort of change direction again. Right, so I'm really pushing that into the socket, because what I want to do is I'm going to go in with a lower, on the lower lid I'm going to go in with a lighter pink and try and create the illusion of a lovely youthful eye. So that's, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm literally tiny little miniature sort of circular motions into my eye socket. Obviously not on the surface because obviously just sweet powder everywhere. And I'm going to do both eyes as I go. Okay, so now I've got that light pink in there. I'm now going to move up to this really lovely passion colour. So I'm turning my brush around. So convenient with a double-ended brush, literally just... It's like, did anyone used to twirl batons when they were a kid at school? Now I've just forgotten what end I'm using. Yeah, that one. Right, okay. And what I'm going to do is just in the outer corner, I'm not taking it all the way over to the inner corner because that would make my eye look smaller. And most people want to give the illusion of a lovely bright eye. So I'm just going to take it into the outer corner. And don't worry about any mess that we get, you know, down here, because I'll show you a little tip about how to tidy that up in a minute. And it doesn't have to be so specific when you do it. People go, oh my God, I've really mucked it up. Well, Lou's going to show you a tip. There we go. So you start to see this sort of the build of colour that I'm trying to achieve, and you can start to see where I've applied the powder and not. Now I don't know if you can see, but I dyed my hair pink last night. Actually, it was this morning. I couldn't sleep, so I got up and showered and washed my hair. And so we're going to go for pretty and pink today. Not sure about the pretty, but certainly we're going to achieve the pink. And together with that lip lacquer that I showed you earlier, it should work nicely. Okay, so, right, so I'm now going to move on. I've got another fab brush here, another Spectrum brush. I'm a bit of a nerd. I think I've said this already. So this is my brush belt that I'm wearing. My brush is that I'm using at the moment. I think you probably, if you know your brushes, you'll see that there's a range brush in there. There's quite a few Real Techniques, big range of Spectrum brushes, and these, maturely enough, are the Spectrum range, Disney range. And what I love about it is you still get to have that bit of fun, but still not lose out on the quality of your brushes. So, what am I going to go for next? So, I'm going to look at this Alluring. So, the Alluring's been put in as a bit of a highlighter. And I'm all for a multi-purpose product. So, I'm going to have a little play. Now, that's a real cool pink, whereas I've used just two very warm pinks and a very dark pink. But I'm going to go in on the inner corner of my lower lid. So this is to really give the illusion that my face is sort of like more awake than it normally is on a Monday. And of course, as I said earlier, I struggled to sleep last night. So I need all the help I can get. So I'm just literally applying that. I'm going to take a bit of building because I've obviously gone in with some darker colours sooner. So I don't know if you can see that, and you can compare the two. And that's as far across as I'm going to come. So, let's play catch up. Okay, so I'm now going to just give that brush a bit of a dust off. there's no reason why you can't use your same brush for certain colours, as long as you start with a lighter colour and build up. I give mine just a very light brushing on a wipe. Now that's left that slightly moist, which is good, because what I want to do next is I want to pick up a bit more of the powder. Now I want it to stay, so I've got this really lovely sort of 3-tone pink thing coming on here, and now I want to use that same highlighter that I used on the lower lid to just give me a little bit of the light pink, but obviously on the moist brush up here, and I'm doing it just under. Now you can see that you start to get a bit of a patch, so I wouldn't want to sweep that all across the powder. It will dry naturally, but it does, if you get it too wet and you do it too often, it will start to create a bit of a breeding ground for bacteria, which nobody wants to put bacteria near their eyes. Now if you keep it to one side and you're not doing that too often, you'll be fine. You should change or recycle or throw away your eye products far more frequently than most of us do. I bet you if you go through your drawer now, you will find eyeshadows or mascaras that may date back to pre-2020. If you're sort of wincing at this now and thinking, actually I've got some that predate 2010, then you need to get up there with a bin bag and throw stuff away. And if you're thinking, actually there's some up there that have been there since 1985, then you just need to send that to a museum. But we all have it. And there's products that we just love that we don't use very often, and you know, we don't want to throw away things that have cost us a bit of money, or that we don't feel are particularly, you're not ready to get rid of. But what I would say is, you know, they will naturally harbour bacteria, and you don't want that near your eye. Okay, so you can see the sort of look I've tried to create with all the pinks. And I'm just going to go back in with my trusty puff brush, and I'm going to go back in with that darker pink, the Passion, and just push it into that corner again, just literally. It's a slightly shorter brush this, so you can be more specific and more direct with where you put it. Now I'm not looking for a stripy rainbow eye. I'm far too mature for that. We don't say the O word. But what I am trying to do is try to give the illusion of, you know, shape. And you saw I might have twisted that in my finger there. So I've got the slanted type of brush, which I've then twisted so that the shorter brushes are nearer my eye, nearer the inside of my nose. And then my longer brush is on the outside. So as I push, you get more spread of the powder and colour. Okay. So right now I might be looking like I've got a couple of bruises in my eyes. And what I've tried to create, when you see my eye like this, it just looks very pale and pink and very girly. And actually you think, well, why have you put all that effort into, you know, pushing colour in? But when I blink, you just get a really nice sort of almost like a burst of colour. And of course we're yet to put our eyeliner on, and we're yet to put our mascara on, but that will really start to help show what I'm trying to achieve. So it's all about the blink. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with some eyeliner. So I've got the Avon True Colour Glimmer Stick Eyeliner. These are absolutely, they've changed my world, I have to say. They're on offer at the moment for £3, so I think I might have to stock up when I think how much I've spent on eyeliner over the years. So with my new tripod, I've got free hands, so I'm going to get closer to you, you lucky people. Okay, so you can start to see, while you were getting a cup of tea, I just used a little wet wipe just to tidy up my corners, like that. And the beauty of that is just wrapping it around a forefinger like that and just creating a sharp line. And of course, when I go back in with foundation in a minute, I can tidy it up. So I've got, it's really smooth. I've wound the nib up just enough to give me enough. So here we are. I want to go for quite a thin line, which can be quite hard to achieve when you're bringing it down to the inner corner. You don't want to go thick right into the inner corner of your eye, because all that does is just make your eye look small. Okay, so you might have noticed that I very gently, I didn't pull or yank, I just hold it taut, and then just smooth, small strokes, which create one nice smooth line. Lots of people go, oh, I'm no good with eyeliner, I can't ever get it right. Yes, if you're really experienced, you could go and you could draw a complete line. But for most of us, we just have to build up those little strokes to create a nice smooth line. The beauty of these glimmer sticks is they're so easy to work with. Honestly, there's no drag. It's so easy to direct the colour. And there you go again, you can see as I've built up the little strokes, and then as I've come from the outer edge, I open my eye and almost bring it to the underside of my eye. So, I'm just going to check that myself, close up. Yeah, not too bad. Goes on so nicely, so comfortable. Okay, now I've not put in a lot of detail on the outside, but I am going to finish when I've done all my foundation. I've got a felt tip type one eyeliner here, which literally is like drawing on your face with a felt tip. It's so clever, so clever. And literally you can either do, oh hang on, do quite a fine line, or by applying more pressure you get a bit of an Amy Winehouse. Now obviously I'm not going for that, but it can be really helpful when it comes to doing a bit of a kitten flick at the end, which is what I'm going to try and do today. So and just practice on the back of your hands, it all wipes off. Look at that. Ooh, good old wet wipes. It's the only thing they're good for, wet wipes. Cleaning your hands, not your face. Avoid your face. Use cleansers, use toners, use face washes, but please don't use wet wipes on your face, other than for a quick fix, or if you're going to Glastonbury. I don't actually know, I do know somebody that goes to Glastonbury actually, and she's really cool actually. I've never been to one myself. I do like camping, but... Right, so, next stage. You know what it is, it's my favourite product. So, before we go back in with mascara, I'm now going to do the rest of my face. So, I'm going to start with my foundation and then build on top of that with a bit of powder. Just hold it all and bake it in. Bit of highlighter under my eyes, and then I will finish off with some bronzer, blusher, a bit of highlighter to sort of strobe a little bit, and then it will be my favourite product, which is mascara, which I've just dropped. Literally caught it in my cleavage. What an achievement, catching your mascara in your cleavage. So okay, so we're starting out. I'm wearing Warm Ivory Power Stay, which is really quite good. So I'm just going to put that on the back of my hand so you guys can see. So that's probably all I would use on my face, and the majority of that will go on in the centre of my face, because that's where most of my foundation is concentrated, from this sort of like area in. Now this, I've never used a brush like this, so this is borderline hilarious for me. So it's double-ended. I'm just going to leave that there for a moment. It's double-ended, and also it's got this sort of springy directional thing going on. Now I'm going to use it straight because my fingers are pretty strong, but I know, having spoken to my mum and some of my relatives, that actually sometimes arthritis, or maybe if you're just you're getting less dexterous than you might have been once before, you know, having the ability to shape a brush, you know, like I was putting that in there, that would be really challenging for some people. So, you know, I think this is a great brush. I think it's really clever. It's got a really nice sort of blusher brush at the end. It's a lovely quality sort of bristle, and then you've got a foundation brush at the end. So it's an AVON brush, really funky and just so good, particularly if there's a disability for somebody, or if someone's got cramp or gets cramp easily, or you know, if you've got things like carpal tunnel, anything like this, you know, this concentration work just stops you from doing it. So I've managed to just spread my foundation all over my back of my hands. So literally I'm just going to go in now. I put black tan on this morning as well, so my foundation never is a perfect match, but I have got such pigmentation that now, I don't know if you can see, but I've literally worn it out to the outer corners. So the majority of my foundation, as I said earlier, is down the centre. And then work it out to the outer frame of my hand. Outer frame of my face, not my hand. The snoring is not me, by the way. The dog is on the bed behind me. Sounds like the Spitfire's going over. My house is very near to Headcorn airfield, and we're lucky enough, really lucky, to get the Spitfire go over most days. That's made me look a lot paler, probably nearer close to my natural colour. Looks like something out of Halloween. Definitely need some concealer today. And I'm blending it out to the outer corner, so I shouldn't get much of a line here. So foundation's completed. Just blended that up to the hairline. Make sure that I've followed it carefully along the outer corners of my eye. Now though, I do need some under eye concealer. So, my under eye concealer, nothing's within reach today. I'm not very organised, obviously. So, I'm just putting a small bit of the, well, I say it's a small bit. You probably go, what the hell? That's not small, Lou. As I said, didn't get much sleep, so literally using my ring finger. You can get concealer, sort of under eye concealer brushes, but if I'm honest, I've never had a great finish. Cosmetic sponges can be really good, but I haven't got any clean at the moment, and I do need to have a little bit of a wash of those. But I do like a much lighter under eye area by comparison to the rest of my face. Again, it gives the illusion that I'm looking a bit brighter. Now, the good thing about having a brush to do this would make it much easier to create that real chiseled look across there. And I do it into the corners of my eyes because I literally am so, you know, you can see my blood vessels, and I bring that down just below the eye and onto the cheek. So if you look up, you can get as quite close to the line without it getting into your tear ducts or along the waterline. But if you're not one for wearing a lot of product under here, then you might want to go a little bit easier. I also put a bit of concealer around my nose and under here. Quite often feel a little bit redder there, and like you saw, I went into the corners of my there we go. So to make that hold and not sort of just sort of seem greasy all day, I'm going to use translucent powder. So you can be quite messy with this if you want to, without it going into your eyes, obviously. Lovely. Now I'm hoping that's taken at least 3 years off me. Not sure if it's that good, but there you go. Now that should hold till I go to bed tonight. It's a nice colour as well, I think. Okay, so time for blusher, time for bronzer. Okay, so I've always promised that I will be authentic and honest with you. So I have been addicted to Benefit Hoola as my bronzer for years. In fact, I buy their cheek palette every Christmas. It's going to take quite a bit to budge me from that, and I would wholeheartedly recommend this product for value. However, that said, I have ordered some bronzers, and I used the Bronzing Pearls probably a few years ago, and I do like a bronzing pearl. They went out of fashion, but they, you know, I got stuck on Hoola, and then that became my go-to product. However, I want to be honest, tell you what I'm using. That's what I'm going to use today, because there's nothing wrong. You know, I'm here to obviously to promote Avon. However, there's lots of things that I like that aren't Avon. Okay, so literally I've just loaded up quite a wedgy brush because I'm going to give quite a hard line there. And what I've tried to do is, if you see, there isn't much dipping in my cheeks at the moment, but if you pull your lips or your mouth into the shape of an O, you can start to see a natural contour line, which gives you the illusion that you're slimmer than you are. So a very soft brush, and I've gone in quite heavy with it because it's quite a dark bronzer. Look at the mess. Shocking. I'm going to do the same on this side, which should be easier because the light's falling better. I don't know if you can hear the seagulls. I don't actually live near the coast. I'm halfway between London and the coast, but there's like a seagull brothel on one of the roofs on a nearby sort of farm building, and they're having a right go of it today. If you can't hear them, then I'll just silence that out. All right, so that gives you a sort of steer of where my bronze is going today. Still holds that lovely lightness that I've created there. And of course, if I get a bit of a stripe, then I'm going to break that up with a bit of blusher in the apples of my cheeks. Now, I'm going to get a slightly softer brush. This is my favourite brush. I love this brush. And literally, I do a bit of a swoosh sort of technique here. I do load it quite heavily. And I go over the outer frame, literally along the hairline, and come down to join that area that I created earlier with the wedgy stubby brush. And that's what I love about Hula. It's such a great colour for building bronzer. Now I'm going to go in just slightly under the jawline. I'm not wearing anything that this is going to fall out against today, so but obviously by doing that it gives me the illusion that I'm a little bit slimmer than I am, and also I take that colour down there into my décolletage and down into my chesticles. Okay, now it's unusual for makeup artists to sort of disagree on different techniques, but there's one thing that some makeup artists are a little bit anti. Some are either pro nose, some are not. So I always take like bronzer down my nose, try to do down the bridge of my nose, which is quite tough with this brush. And if I'm honest, my nose is really big, so I try and make it look darker because it tends to give the illusion that it's smaller. So if you want to, you can go back in with something like a really chiseled brush like that, or even some of these modern day sort of, I don't get on with these, but I do know people that love them, and these sort of brushes which really do allow you to sort of go in and you know, apply it in. So I could quite easily make the bridge of my nose a lot smaller by adding a bit of colour there. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll just try it. I can do it, but there we go, one. And what I've done is I've actually taken the edge of the brush against the Hula. Now if I was, oh look at that, whoa. Now if I was going to do a makeup shoot and not go out in public and have people look at me and think, oh, she looks like a tiger, then actually I could quite easily go in with my trusty old Clinique brush. I could quite easily, look at that, like Kim Kardashian, eat your heart out. See how much narrower my nose looks? I just think it looks weird, but that's what contour is like. Anyway, the point I was making is that's not what I'd normally do, but that's what you could do. I love just to have a good, you know. So literally a brown nose. Okay. So let's have a little look at that. I'm hoping you can start to sort of get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Ooh, exciting stuff. Right, so it's Kathy Emmerdale time, people, you know it. Now, I have searched the AVON books for the equivalent of my blusher. Again, in the attempt to be really honest with you, as addicted as I am to Hula, I'm also addicted to California. And I'll be honest, it's just, I love this colour. Benefit again. Look at that, wow, look at the pink peach. It's just got so much going for it. Anyway, so big smiles. You can see where I've put in the contour in, where I'm sort of getting those lovely sort of, how it builds up my pearls, builds up my apples. So I'm gonna literally just dust my blusher. Now I did find last night a blusher from Avon that has the same sort of hue to it. I've ordered it. It will come in this week and I will try it. And if I like it and I'm converted, then I'll save myself some money. But it has to last and it has to be good and it has to be like California. Otherwise I ain't budging. As much as I love my Avon products, I love my Hoola and I love my California. So, always a bit Aunt Sally, especially when you sort of get the white here. So, oh, pretty in pink, here I come. So, I'm going to go back to my, where did I do with it? Oh, here she goes. Honestly, I'm a nightmare. Can't find it. Oh, there it is. Sorry, no, that wasn't it. Back to my double-ended, super helpful bendy brush. And I'm going to go back in with a little bit of pressed powder and just soften that there. Not a lot, because I don't want to brush away my blusher. You know I don't want to brush away my blusher. But it's almost just sort of like blending the two together, so it looks a little bit more natural. But I've just climbed the stairs when actually I haven't. So that's me powdered up. Let's have a quick check up. Don't want to be wonky. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love blusher. I have got to calm down though, because I am literally. Oh, see, I've got to stop. See, that's what I've got to do. Stop. Put it down. Step away from the brusher, Lou. Step away. Okay, so now I'm going to have a little look at highlighter. I'm going to shape my brows a little bit today. So, nice little brush here, quite long, quite fluffy, with a bit of a pointed dome top. And I'm going to use, going back to the playbook, and I have got this fabulous set of highlighting shades down the bottom. And there's one on here that is called Impulse. That doesn't sound like me at all. Lou, impulsive? No, my husband will tell you it is the cause of all his grey hairs. So literally just going to sweep that onto there. And all I'm doing is a light dusting just here. You see, some looks can be just a little bit too much for my liking. It should give the illusion that if light catches you, people go, oh, isn't she translucent? Isn't she beautiful? You know, isn't she vibrant, or whatever big description words you want to use. But you shouldn't end up with this sort of stripe of glitter. Yeah, and then perhaps a light touch under my eyebrows. There we go. Perhaps a very tiny dust on the end of my nose to give the illusion I've got this lovely, shapely, pointy nose, when we all know that I haven't. But can you see, just by doing that, you go, oh, isn't her nose lovely and pointy? I don't know why, as a species, we want pointy noses, but there you go. So that is as simple as my highlighting gets. If you've got a lovely smooth skin, then you know you might want to really go for it, real banging highlighter. Right, so I said that I'd come back to felt tip. Now I'm actually using a number 7 one today. This has been a favourite of mine for a long time. There is an Avon one, but I've only got it in brown, and so I've only got it in black, and unfortunately I've used a cosmic brown eyeliner, so I'm going to use a number 7 one because it's brown, and of course with the pink it's quite soft. But what I love about these, you just literally draw it in. You can almost just lay the nib against your eye to give the illusion, so you haven't got to be a fabulous artist or anything, but literally. And that's it. That's it. Sorry, that was my stomach. It's lunchtime. Sorry. And then on this side, just check that. See, you always get one that looks perfect and the other one doesn't. There we go. Now, I've really mucked that one up, and I'm going to be real honest, I'm going to show you. Look how much I've mucked that up. That is like a mess. That's just like a... What have you done? No problem. No problem at all. Cotton bud. Or if you've got a beauty wipe, then you've got... Let's see if I've got a beauty... Beauty one's even better, but cotton bud will do. This one's a beauty one, so it's got slightly pointed in. A wet wipe. Roll it between your fingers to get a nice moist sort of cotton bud. And then all I'm doing is going back in. Boom. Don't need a stamp. Don't need a really fine hand, steady hand. Literally just go back in. Job done. Okay, so we're getting there. We're nearly done. You've done really well to stick with me this long if you're still here. So this is something called, it's like a mascara primer. So this is, I alluded earlier to the fact that I like multi-purpose products. And I've also alluded in other sort of LouVCs that I don't actually do an awful lot of my eyebrows, and I certainly don't do a lot of styling. However, you can see that I do have quite a good eyebrow. So this is like a fibrous primer for mascara. And what I'm going to do, I don't use it for my eyelashes. I'm very fortunate, I've got quite full eyelashes and quite long eyelashes. But I am going to brush it through my eyebrows. There you go. It's almost like candy floss, because it does give you like a... It adds to your hairs that are there already. And also the brush as well combs through your eyebrows. So I don't know if you can see, but already that eyebrow looks thicker, and I've not added any colour. Now, AVON do a buildable eyebrow solution. They do loads of stuff for brows actually. They also do the brow tattoo, but I'm just showing you this because this isn't what this product's designed for. If you're going out and you want banging brows, especially us blondies, but this will work for anybody. And it just so easily shapes and builds. Now, I don't have to do much more than that, but if I felt inclined to do so, that's cracking. That is absolutely cracking. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'll tell you what, when I go down Morrison's this afternoon, I am gonna be on point. Oh, just had a WhatsApp from AVON about my purple shampoo and conditioner. Oh, good. Now, I'm quite happy with that. That would be enough for me. But I know you guys go, Lou, you can't see eyebrows. So I'm going to show you how much fuller my eyebrows look as a result of that fibrous sort of building solution. I think that's amazing. That's enough for me. However, you could either, one, go in with powder, and because you've got that extra fibrous sort of finish, the colour of the powder would just sit on top. 2, you could go in with a brow liner and draw in those little individual hairs, which would help add to that fuller look. Or, like me, you could just leave it as simple as that. But I'm really happy with that shape. Now, I've done my highlighter. I've done all my bits and bobs. I am going to do my mascara next. Good old 5-in-1 lash mascara. Now my chunky barrel. Okay, so I'm literally just gonna, because I've got such a great colour there in that deep sort of rosy pink, and of course I've got glimmer stick and I've got the felt tip eyeliner. I don't need loads of mascara. I am literally just coating my lashes so that they're black. Oh, there we go. Little repair job there. Wish I was going out somewhere now. Repair that in a minute. Going to wind my mascara and not pump. If you pump, you tend to add air in and then your mascara just dries out so much faster. And of course, you've only got up to 6 months. I only get 6 weeks out of mascara because obviously being blonde, I wear a lot of mascara. So, but that's fine by me because actually you shouldn't keep a mascara much longer than 6 months. Of course, it's black, it's dark, it's moist, it's warm in there. And the minute you take it out and put it on your eyelashes, you are adding bacteria into that pot, so it becomes a really great breeding ground. So that's why you'll see that most mascaras, especially those that are paraben free, which we all like to use nowadays, have a lot shorter shelf life. In fact, the little pot's logo on the side, more often than not, says 6 months. So for those of you that are sitting there going, oh my God, I've got stuff in the drawer that's been there since 2010, you might want to think about throwing those out and replacing. And certainly the other thing, please do not share your eye makeup. Have I done it in the past when I've been out with girlfriends and, you know, we've done stuff? Yeah, maybe. But mascara, definitely a no-no. You mustn't share your mascara. There's all sorts of things that you can pick up. And trust me, the one thing you don't want is eye infections. There we go. So, just gonna go for the fish face. I might have fish for dinner tonight, actually. There we go. What do you reckon? Okay, so one last little thing for my eyes. I mentioned right at the beginning of the video that I was going to use the Show Glow Glitter Flick Stick in pink. So literally, I'm going to go in. I don't know if you've seen some of the magazine finishes. It's really trendy to just have a much lighter, especially reflecting area on the inner corner of your eyes. Go figure. And finally, I promised you, as part of my makeover today, we're going to use the AVON Loaded Lip Lacquer. This, I'm so excited about this colour. If it goes on and it's rubbish, I'm going to be so disappointed. I can't imagine it, because that is just, look at that pink. That is just, oh, it's called Pinch of Pink. Oh, it's more than a pinch. Here we go. So, first time live virgin to this product, but it sounds amazing. I cannot wait to try it. So I'm literally going to use, it's so easy to apply a lip gloss. A little bit more sheer than your standard lipstick lip glosses are and lacquers. So actually, I don't know if you can see, it gives you, oh, tastes nice. It gives you the opportunity to sort of not be quite so precise. Look at that. Oh my God. That is absolutely stunning. Oh my God, look at that. Don't you just want to kiss me? I want to kiss me. Feels really nice as well. Now, you can leave it at that and have quite a sheer look. Quite subtle. I've never been subtle. I don't think I've ever been accused of being subtle. So, look at it. It feels so nice. And it's such a nice colour going on. Girls, you do not need to muck around with your lips when you've got products like this. And every brand does products like this. So stop getting fillers. Oh my God. I love that colour. I absolutely love that colour. I might pour myself a seagull at this rate. Look how full that makes my bottom lip look. Now, oh, that's really sweet. It's like sugar on my lips. Seriously. So there you go. Pretty in pink. Thank you for persevering and staying with me. If you've got any questions about any of the products I used today, or any of the techniques I've used, or anything, even if you disagree with something I've said, put a comment down there or PM me. I love a bit of a debate about makeup, and I love a discussion about it. I could talk about it till the cows come home. There we go. See you next time.